Hello everybody, I'm the Basic Average Twit, and we're going to talk about Real Time with Bill Maher last night, which had a featured guest of Milo Yiannopoulos, and a couple panelists, Malcolm Nance and Larry Wilmore. Now they had a little bit of a fight in the overtime segment, which is at the end of the show, and what I mean by that is HBO broadcast goes off after the 1 hour mark, and then you go to their website and finish up, and they always go anywhere from like 7 to 15 minutes over, depending on how interesting the conversation is. And this was an interesting conversation, so it lasted about 12-13 minutes. But let's get back to the point here. Milo Yiannopoulos was the featured guest, and what that means is after Bill does his set, he comes on and interviews somebody that does not sit down with a panelist, which is a shame. I really wish we would have seen a whole 30-minute segment with the panelists with Milo on there, and then overtime. The featured interview went as such. Milo and Bill seemed a little contentious at first, but they actually agree on more stuff, at least concerning religion, than some people maybe even realized. Bill Maher, known as a liberal, but has always sided with neoconservatives for more than a decade now on almost anything they say, even some of their worst ideas. And it's so funny to me sometimes that just because he says he's a liberal, he gets a big pass from a lot of people that barely pay attention to politics. More people that are kind of like partisan hacks. They just kind of barely follow. They just know the Democratic side. They know the Democratic or liberal type of people, and they just agree with them without really knowing their actual feelings or positions at any time. And so what we saw there was, it seemed like a short interview, to be honest, where Bill Maher a lot of times just kind of, he understands free speech and he gets it, but he also kind of acts like Milo's going a little overboard, which to me, I don't understand that at all. I think if you are a defender of freedom of speech, regardless of who you have, at any point in time, you have to defend it. Whether it's Howard Stern, whether it's Sarah Silverman, whoever you have as a guest, you should defend the freedom of speech. Never kind of be like half-assed. Never be like, well, I kind of see how people could be offended. And that's not good, because you're giving people that are constantly offended the right to be offended. And if you give them an inch, they then think that they're justified in being offended. And that's just not right. So anyways, that's the only thing that I disagreed about with the beginning part of that. I thought Bill Maher could have been a little bit more accepting, especially of freedom of speech. He knows that he even pisses off his base, and he knows, and he's done bits about how the liberals take his stuff out of context and come after him, and it's ridiculous. But now let's get into the overtime part. So overtime part, we have Larry Wilmore and Malcolm Nance. And it started to feel like nobody was actually going to have a conversation. I don't understand how anybody from either side, because I don't think Milo really said much either, felt like there was anything other than just kind of bickering going back and forth. Fuck you is not a real argument. You can say fuck you to somebody 100 million times. It's meaningless. It literally means nothing. And then Milo's big thing is just kind of be offensive, calling them idiots. That's not really an argument. So to me, it feels like children just sort of bickering. We're talking about full-grown adults here. And that's what is disconcerting to me. I feel like you have the freedom of speech, just say fuck you to whoever you want to. But I also feel like these are adults. Why can we not have a conversation about the topics at hand? They're getting asked questions on overtime. Let's talk about it. And now maybe Milo is being a little offensive and they're trying to defend the marginalized. I have something about offending the marginalized, okay? What you're doing then is more or less saying that the marginalized are defenseless. And that would be true in some cases of grown-ups or whatnot that are actually vulnerable, okay? But we're not talking about people that are vulnerable. We're applying marginalized to a person of just a race or a religion as if they cannot stand up for themselves. So to sometimes stand up for the marginalized is more or less a way of saying that they are weak, they are not capable of defending themselves, which is an argument I've never understood why one would make that. If you are truly marginalized, it does not mean that you don't have a voice. It does not mean that you don't have a point. And it does not mean that they're surrounded by racists that they can't defend themselves. Other than that, I felt the show was a little disappointing. I wanted to see Milo, the entire show, with the panelists, the entire show. I wanted to see more interaction, real discussion about issues, not the bickering. The bickering for a little bit, a couple fuck yous here and there. Okay, now you got your fight in, now you got some of your ratings. And they were laughing as they're kind of saying the fuck yous and all that. So on one end, they kind of know they're in a show business type thing. They know they're not in an opportunity to make a little bit more money. They know why they're on Real Time with Bill Maher. But on the other hand, it just doesn't seem like, if the show is supposed to be part entertainment and part thought-provoking, if maybe something can get done with two sides coming together, it fell flat. It's just really not a discussion there, and either side can then go back and go, but the other side's not receptive to my message, and I just feel like that is stupid. I always feel like grown-ups should be able to have the ability to fight, and it's okay to fight and get a little frustration out, but then if you can never just talk and then realize that you have different opinions, but just talk on a human level, that's where everything's coming to right now in society, where we're just not talking. I should be able to disagree with somebody, but talk to you in a civil way where we go, well, we realize that we can't get past something simple. And then maybe also realize, though, the thing that we can't get past, the thing that we can't see eye to eye on, is a minor point, usually, because we'll agree on some things. But then we get on one little thing that we can't get past. But it's not death. It's not the worst thing. So anyways, to sum it up, disappointing. Wish there was a little bit more talking. And my name is the Basic Average Twit. I just have an average opinion. Nothing too special. Probably about 90% of people feel like me. And thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you liked anything I did. You can give me a thumbs up, but really, who gives a fuck? I have no subscribers right now.